Honors Algebra. This is Mr. Lawrence once again with your flipped lesson for Thursday, November 3rd. Before we get started, I do want to say that I am proud of you. The scores were very good. There's a couple of people transposing x and y when they go to graph, or flipping rise over run and using run over rise, but I wrote you little notes on your quiz so you can come and see me about that. It's the minority of people. Scores overall were very, very good. All right, they're so good, I think I'll enjoy a refreshing Diet Coke. Pardon me. All right, today's lesson, we're going to be solving for y and graphing. We're going to solve for y in an equation and graph. All right. Well, you remember a few weeks ago we might have had an equation like this. Move that out of the way. All right. Oh, I'm not in writing mode. 2x minus 3y equals 6, right? And we know we want to solve for y. That's our goal, to get the y alone. We're going to ask ourselves, what numbers are keeping the y from being alone? Well, the 3 and the 2x. Notice I used 2x as a single number there because I'm counting y as my variable. All right, the 3 is attached by multiplication. The 2x is attached by addition because the 2 is positive. Remember, that negative belongs to the 3, not to the 2x. So Saddam tells me to undo addition and multiplication, subtraction and addition before I undo division and multiplication. So to undo the 2x, I shall subtract 2x from each side. All right, left-hand side's no problem. Don't lose your negative here. Did you lose your negative? Don't lose your Amber. Did you lose your negative? Don't lose your negative. Kaylee, do not lose your negative. Spencer, don't lose your negative. There's negative 3y. Now be careful on the right-hand side. I don't want you to make any banapples, Matt. Banapples are not a good thing. Please do not make any banapples. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean do not combine unlike terms. You see, we have over here, we have a 6, which is just a number or a constant. But over here, we have a negative 2x. They are not like terms. To combine them, they both have to be just numbers or they both have to be x terms. I can't combine them. I don't know if you remember me saying a couple weeks ago that when I do these, I really like to write my x term first. I just get to write them down. The 2x is negative. I write negative 2x plus 6. Do not write the number first. Write the x term first. You're going to make silly mistakes if you don't. Trust me on that. Write the x term first. Okay. Now, my y is still not alone because I have a negative 3 there. The negative 3 is attached by multiplication, so to undo that, I will divide by negative 3. But remember, I have to do that in 3 places. All right. My left-hand side will turn into y, because those will cancel. I'll have a negative 2 over negative 3x, and I'm going to simplify as best I can. I'm not going to go mixed number, decimal, or anything like that. But when I have a negative over negative, I will turn it into a positive. All right. Then 6 divided by negative 3, I know is negative 2. Okay, now that I have that, I'm going to go ahead and make a graph. And I know some of you are wondering, wait, how can you make a graph? Well, if I get 2 or 3 points, I can make a graph. I'm going to show you how to get 2 or 3 points. This should be totally review. So let me move that down here and lock it in place. And I'm going to make a t-table. Hold on a second. Where's my recorder? Okay, so I'm going to make a t-table of some x and y values that will have to be on this line. How do I know they'll have to be on the line? I'm going to pick x values, plug them into the equation, and then I'm going to solve for y. And that'll give me points on the line. Now I'm going to be really, really smart when I pick my x's. 0 is a wonderful choice for x. It's wonderful. It makes my math easy. I'm going to show my work down here. As you get good at these, you'll be able to do some of them in your head. Y equals 2/3 times 0 minus 2, which will simply come out to be y is negative 2, because 2/3 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. So my y value is at negative 2. All right. Now, for the other points. I'm going to pick another x value, and this time I'm going to pick 3. Anybody know why I'm going to pick 3? 3 is a good one. -3 would be a good choice. 6 would be a good choice. 9 would be a good choice. -6, -9. It's all because of the 3 in the denominator. I'm going to pick a number that 3 will divide into evenly. So when I substitute in, I'm going to get something like this. Y is going to equal 2/3. X is going to be 3, but since I have 2/3 as a fraction, I'll write 3 as a fraction. Remember, Daniela, all you have to do is put it over 1. And then I will take away 2 from whatever I get. Okay, now, remember, we do not cross multiply here. There is no cross multiplication in this problem. None whatsoever. These 3's, however, will cancel out because they'll divide into each other. And so I will be left with y equals 2 minus 2. Hey, that's simply 0. That means the y-coordinate is 0 when the x-coordinate is 3. If you're having trouble with that, I am helping Friday after school. Oh, by the way, just a quick reminder, people watching this on YouTube, you'll need to watch it in 2 segments. There'll be part 1 and part 2. All right, so I need one more just to make my graph look pretty. And this time I am going to choose a -3. Could have chosen 6, but I'm going to try to stay around 0, so I'll just go to the other side. All right, so I will write down y will equal 2/3 times -3 over 1 minus 2. Why is it over 1? Because the 2/3 is a fraction, so I'm going to write it as my x value as a fraction so that I can see that the 3's will cancel out. Now notice the negative didn't cancel out, just the 3's. So this means that y will equal -2 minus 2. How did I get -2? 2 times -1 is -2 divided by 1 is -2. So it's -2 minus 2, which is -4. So I'll get a -4 there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and plot my points. 0, -2, 0, 1, 2. All right, I've got -3, 1, 2, 3, -4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my second point. And I'll clean up some of these little marks here so that they don't get in the way when I graph. And then I have the point 3, 0. 3 in the x direction, 0 in the y direction. There we go. And I am ready to draw my line. All right, I'll grab a line here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Did you see me cheat there? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. If you're paying attention, you should recognize what I just did. What's that? What did I do? Zach, what did I do? Yeah, that's right. I counted the slope because all lines will have slope. So I did a little cheating to get a couple extra points just to make my graph look prettier. That's going to be important later. All right, there's that one. We're going to do one more, and then I'm going to see if you can pay attention to something. YouTube people, it's going to be just about time for you to switch over to part 2. You'll know when the video ends, of course, but I'm just giving you a little reminder. I'm going to keep running for our friends doing it on the website. All right, let's get another graph up here. And this time,